Tuesdays, right? What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Are you ready? It's time!
Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are in tune for another software explorations. We're going to be working on Terraform. Slight pivot from all of the troubleshooting that we've been doing. We are going to be working on AWS Secrets Manager because I wanted to use that to set up some passwords and stuff like that we are going to be using for our application. We are on the brink of integrating with, like, in this sprint that we're working on. We are working on setting up our production database so our application can work with our MongoDB Atlas that we set up using Terraform a few months ago. So we're getting there, and that's the plan for today. But if you don't know who I am Tech Coach Ralph. I am Engineer to Win, just like you should be. You should also be Engineer to Win. And we are going to be getting into our show. How we always do. If you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I really, really appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you.
And we already got your car in the building. What's up, your car? And we got Ferris in the building as well. What's up, Ferris? So we are going to get into it. You know what? Let's start off with our agenda, as get some housekeeping out of the way, and then a little topic to discuss. Happy to see Ferris here, and then we'll get into the work for today, where we're, like I said, Terraform, AWS Secrets Manager, all that good stuff. Which reminds me, I do need to log into AWS. So let me log into AWS while we get that underway. That way, I can make sure that things are working as they should. Like if you notice the approach that I take to things, to when I'm working, it is very like, do a little bit, get some results, keep going. Do a little bit. Like I just can't go and do a bunch of code or a bunch of stuff and then cross my fingers. Hopefully, I just don't like throwing spaghetti at the wall, because it never really sticks. It never really sticks. All right, so let me log into AWS, and then we can run through our agenda. All right, I am logged in. All right, let's get into the agenda real quick. So first and foremost, as always, I have to say thank you to all of the newest subscribers, as well as the subscribers who have been with me for a very, very long time.
I appreciate you. We the best.
I mean, you guys make it all happen, and I really appreciate everything. Like people like your car, Ferris, Mitch when he gets here. I know Mitch is going to get here, but Mitch, all of you guys, absolutely amazing people. And I appreciate all the support, all the love, all of the, information, reaching out, all of that. It is amazing. And as well, salute to the Tech Barbarians, to the Tech Prodigy members, to the Tech Explorers, to the Bag Chasers, and to the Tech Mercenaries. All of you guys, the work that you put in is absolutely amazing, absolutely stunning. All right, let's jump into let's run through this real quick. The live show schedule. We have our Saturday mornings, which we did yesterday. We have our weekly economic numbers review. The name of the show is called Men Lie. What? Yes, Men Lie. Women Lie. Numbers Manipulate. And we see how they play with the numbers and stuff like that. And, that's going to be a very, very interesting topic for what we're going to be talking about on our Wednesday software explorations. So as we look through the numbers, as we look through the data, we are learning so much, and we are breaking it down in a way that is so easy to understand. And then my homework that I have for this week is break down some other information that we keep learning about, making that even easier to understand for us as well. And that way, when we see these numbers, this data, we don't run away from it. We embrace it, and we know exactly what they're trying to tell us, right? So that is so that's our Saturday morning show at night. We start around 9:15 a.m. The Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers and Manipulate show, our weekly economic numbers review. Very, very important information. Then we have our morning show, Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays, I get started around 7:45, 8 a.m., where we are working on, it's called Coffee and Kata. We are working on building our mobile app. We review some news stories. We work on our mobile app, all that good stuff. We're going to be working on that tomorrow morning. So I mentioned yesterday morning, the app in Google got approved for publishing, where that's going to be allow the closed testing. So we need to get 20 closed testers on Android for about 2 weeks. And then once that's done, we should be able to apply to get into production in the Google Play Store. So that is what we're working towards. And then this week we're also going to be working on doing the same thing for iOS to get it into the iOS store as well. So we're working our way through it. We are doing what we have to do. All right. And then Wednesdays start around 7:15 a.m. Probably going to be working on iOS on Wednesday. Sunday afternoons. Today we are doing software explorations. We're working through Terraform infrastructure as code. What? Infrastructure as code? How do you use? It's like saying, okay, are you using code to build a building? Well, not exactly, but we are using code to build up our infrastructure in AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, Mongo Atlas. We can use Terraform to build our infrastructure for what houses our applications, what houses our data, whatever we need to house there. We're using code for that. All right. So that way we can just run the code and it gets it started up. Or you can tear it down when you're done with it very, very quick. It's not like it's not like you have to do the same thing over and over and over again. So if you're interested in DevOps type stuff, Terraform Sunday afternoons is the place to be. Once we're done with Terraform, we're going to jump right into the full DevOps course, talking about Ansible, Packer, more Terraform, more Docker, stuff like that. So you definitely want to follow us on Sunday afternoons. Tuesday nights, we have our Q&A sessions where you can call in. You can ask questions in the chat. I find questions as well, and we can have that conversation. I get your feedback, your thoughts. I share mine. We have a jolly old time, all right? Thursday nights, more software explorations. Last week on software explorations on Thursday, we worked on the karate framework. This week, we're going to be working, I think it was, I forgot his name, Heist King. I think the name was, who suggested, like, why are you doing the Swagger documentation manually? Why don't you just auto-generate? I'm like, we can auto-generate it? Get the heck out of here. What? So I said, all right, cool. In that case, what we're going to do is this coming Thursday, we're going to do a part 2 of the Swagger documentation. We're going to try to see if we can auto-generate our Swagger documentation. And we'll see, we'll go from there, right? So that's going to be the goal for this coming Thursday. You definitely want to tune in. But wait, there's more. How about our pre-recorded content? So Mondays, we have Candid Conversations, where last week we spoke about my top 5 strategies to get into tech. This week, we're going to be talking about, I asked you a question. What have you not started yet? And why not? What is it something that you said you want to do and you haven't got started yet? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. You definitely want to tune in. So after this show is over, go ahead and hit the notification bell for when the Candid Conversation on what have you not started yet premieres tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Wednesdays, we have software explorations where we are doing concept and overviews. So last week we spoke about zero trust architecture. That was so fun with my crazy example towards the end. This week, we're going to be, you know what? This week, I'm not even going to tell you what it's going to be about. You definitely want to tune in though. It's keeping it secret because it's going to be really, really, really good. Something that is all around us, something that we use like every single, like you might not know this, right? But every single person uses this. And we're going to talk about it on Wednesday. And I'm going to break down how you also use it one way or the other, like everywhere. You'll see, right? And then Fridays we have the bug bite. Last week we spoke about Roku forcing two-factor authentication due to credential stuffing. This week we're going to be talking about an article that Yakar, our good friend Yakar in the chat, he sent me an article talking about Microsoft is deprecating Visual Basic Script, VB Script, and the importance. So this part isn't in the article, but we highlight the importance of learning new languages because VB Script been out since 1996, and people were still hanging on to it. The importance of learning new languages. You definitely want to tune in for that. All right, and then throughout the week we have shorts as well as additional clips from the Q&A show that we have. We just clip it up, put it in bite-sized, digestible pieces so that you can follow along, get your answers really, really quick. Have it your way, just like Burger King. All right. So that is our pre-recorded content as well as our live show content. All right. So let's cheer for that. And I'm going to check the chat real quick. So before the show started, Ferris said, I got the cinematic trailer for a live stream. What? I didn't even know that. I thought it was just a regular, that was like a short or something. I don't know. I don't even be knowing, but hey, shout out to that. And we got your car in the building, clapping it up. Okay. Shout out to your car. And then of course, now the show has started. Mitch is here. Mitch says, take off the blazer, loosen up the tie. Superman is alive.
Hey.
All right. And Mitch asked, how was the birthday party? Talking about my son's birthday party yesterday. It was exhausting. It was a lot of people and way more people than I had expected or invited. But, it is what it is. And it was fun. It was fun, but I was tired. I had work to do after. I'm like, you know what? Gonna have to table it for tomorrow because I was exhausted. I'm like, I'm going to sleep. And I did that. So here we are today. But Mitch, I have one more thing to tell you. We're playing basketball this morning. And you're not going to believe this, but we were playing basketball this morning. And it was last game. And crossed, step back from 35 feet, nothing but net to win the game. And we were out. I'm like, all right, done, over. Got to go home. Got to get ready for the show. All right? I'm just saying, that's how it goes. He probably doesn't believe me, but that's what happened. That is exactly what happened. 100%. All right. And so a lot of people, yeah. You're imagining, yeah, right. I don't even want to imagine. And your car says more people than you invited. So I tried to do something small, and then I get like, "Hey, can I invite this person? Can I invite that person?" I'm like, "Whatever, you guys just do whatever you want." And then people, it just blew up. It just blew up to something that I was like, "All right, I'm gonna do what I agreed to do, and you guys just leave me alone. I'm just gonna chill, whatever, But it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyhow, let's keep going. And see, I told you Mitch wasn't gonna believe me. Mitch was not gonna. He said, "Man, stop it." Then you woke up. Hey, believe it. You see? Oh, your car. You agree with him, your car. Oh man, that's messed. He took off the VR headset. That's messed up. That is so messed up. See, I'm gonna have to bring one of my people on the show one day, right? I'm gonna have to bring one of the people one day just so they can tell you that I hit the winning shot. I think I had 2 winning shots today, the first game and the third game. I'm just saying. See, I need my people. I need my people. I need Henry or I need Smith to show up into the chat to let them know that I am telling the truth. Right? I'm telling the truth. Oh yeah! All right. Any. That's what some people said about a video that came out 2 weeks ago. I'm just saying. I didn't necessarily agree or disagree. anyways, you know what? Let's get into this topic to discuss real quick, right? So I was watching. Let me put it up. So let's get into our little icebreaker for today, right? So what I learned watching Ferris learn Python. And Ferris, drop in your channel in the chat because I'm talking about you. And but it was very interesting, right? What I learned watching Ferris learn Python. New to Python, new to coding in general. Ferris, correct me if I'm wrong. New to coding in general, right? Like you've seen it before, but new to like I'm shy. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Anyways, so watching Ferris code, and I realized a few things that I might have took for granted or I might have overlooked. But so I have a list of things that I learned watching, and it was a really good experience watching Ferris code, or watching him learn Python, go through the 100 Days of Python course, and so here are the things I learned, right? So number one, it's a lot harder than I thought if you never coded before or learned coding in like any other language, right? So because things that like just being around, like being in tech for so long, and even though I might not be writing like the production code and stuff like that, but having the conversations with developers and stuff like that, like learning Java from God knows how long ago, learning Python. So like when I was learning Python, I was like, okay, yeah, the string, I already know about strings, I know about integers, I know about floats, all that type of stuff. But like watching someone who is approaching it new, I'm like, oh, you know what? I see the struggle that they're going through. And your car is like popcorn. Oh my, your car is messed up. That's messed up. Your car. Let me move this up a little bit. That's not what. Let me. Your car's like, this is popcorn. Oh my goodness. That's messed up, your car. But anyways, yeah, so it's a lot hard. It's a lot harder than I thought. Because I'm like, yeah, the videos that accompany it, they're teaching you the stuff, but where's the practical application, right? So that led me to my second point, where it was courses and boot camps don't give you the right strategy to learn something new. They teach you the information, but they don't give you a strategy on how to actually learn it. So I think that is a part that's missing to like, and I say boot camps, I'm thinking of, I haven't taken a boot camp, but I have done a lot of these courses. And I think I'm able to pick up a lot on these courses because all they say, oh, you can be a totally new beginner, which is true. But I think I take it for granted because I already know some coding languages. So I'm able to like transition to new coding languages pretty easily. And I'm able to read the documentation a lot. I'm able to research a lot. So being in QA, always researching, always Googling stuff to see, okay, how does this thing work? What is this? What is that? What does this error mean? So I think that they miss out giving you like how to find out what you're doing wrong. I think that's a big missing factor to it. And when I was, one of the comments that I said to Ferris yesterday was search for the error, or maybe that was this morning. I'm like, search for the error. And then actually when searching for the error, at least you know what you're doing wrong. You might not know how to fix it yet, but at least you know what you're doing wrong. And like, that's what I do. Like every time I run you see me go on Stack, like search on Google and then go to the first Stack Overflow. And I'm reading through it. I'm like, is this the problem that I'm having? Okay, no, that's not necessarily it. And then I keep searching. So that was like another thing that I learned from watching Ferris code. And then, another thing, cause I first had a comment, like a response to one of my comments where he said that, something about like, I said something about the logic and he said, oh, he's like, if I was translating from English to Spanish, I would have to visualize it. And I realized, you know what? learning a coding language is not like learning a new spoken or written language, like a Spanish, a French, a Portuguese, Arabic, whatever. It's actually totally different because, and this is why it's totally different. You can have like you can speak really really bad whatever language like Spanish, English, French, Russian, German, whatever you can like, and although you speak it really really poorly, the person who you're speaking to, they might laugh their off at you, right? But they're going to be able to like piece together what you're trying to say. The thing is with coding language though, you can't make mistakes in it and think that it's going to understand what you're trying to say because there's two challenges when you're learning a coding language, right? There's the logic part and there's the syntax and code part. So there's the logic of what you're trying to build, and then there's a syntax that you also need to get correct to make the code work, to make whatever you're trying to build work. So you can have the syntax correctly, but the logic is off, it's giving you the wrong answer, or you can have your logic correct, and then the syntax and the code is off, which makes it not work. So trying to work through the logic and through the syntax. For me, I think that if you have the logic down, you can fiddle with the syntax and the code because the errors that you're going to get from the syntax and the code is like, okay, and then you can search for that. But for me, I think, and anyway, like your car especially, like you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that if you get the logic down right and you write out the correct steps of the logic, then you can actually figure out your way through the syntax. So, and I'm gonna end up creating some like videos on that and add that to the Patreon so that people who I have like 2 videos to make for Patreon. One for like what courses I would recommend taking, which the 100 Days of Python is one of them. But like some technical courses to take. I had made a video of like some non-technical courses to take, but some technical courses to take, and also how to work your way through these courses so that you can get the best results. I might give some examples of how I would do it and stuff like that. But I approach it very, very systematically. When I'm it's the same way you see me approaching like learning this stuff here. Very like I run very, very often, fail fast, fail often, fail frequently. I guess often and frequently is the same thing. But fail early, fail fast, fail often. That's my approach to it. So I always I still recommend people like to take the 100 days of Python or whatever it is. But okay. So this is the other thing, right? The last thing is, so for instance, the 100 days of Python, it's not 100 days. It's going to be a lot more than 100 days. Because especially if you are brand new to coding, because it's going to take you some time to get it right, especially if you don't have a strategy or like the logic or the syntax and I'll give an example. Like one of the challenges that Ferris was taking on yesterday was they give you A and they give you B, but they want you to swap it. So they give you a value of A is like 5 and they give you a value of B is like 8. And they say, all right, now we want A to become 8 and B to become 5. How do you do that? And I gave first an example in the chat. I'm like, all right, if you had 2 backpacks, you have backpack A and backpack B, and you want the contents of backpack B to be inside of backpack A, and the contents of backpack A to be inside of backpack B, how would you do it? And once he took it like away from like the code that was in front of him with like the syntax and the logic of the code, and he applied regular everyday human logic, then he was able to figure it out a lot faster. That's how I approach learning new things. Like, fail fast, fail often, fail early. That's my strategy. It's probably going to be the name of the Patreon video. But yeah, so that was a very interesting observation, because I think Ferris might have been like the first person I watched going through this and seeing the challenges that he had, and that helped me a lot because I'm like, okay, Now I know what I know what I need to talk about because I'll tell people, oh yeah, take this course, but without knowing where they're getting stuck, then I can't really give some insight on it. So like seeing Ferris get stuck in certain spots, I'm like, oh, like, did you think about this? Did you think about that? You're thinking about it too deeply, things like that. So I'm able to provide some more insight on that as well. So that's my icebreaker for today. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna go ahead and check the chat. Let me bring this off the screen. All right, let's see what the chat has to say about that. Let's see here. Let's go to is this a safe? That's a good question, your car. Enter at your own risk. Let me lock this on the screen. All right, cool. Enter at your own risk. All right, enter at your own risk. And let's see. So Ferris, are you shy? Let's see. He said, Ferris, don't put hands on Ralph. It's all so silly. But yeah, everyone, I go check out Ferris's page. I think he's gonna be. I think you said you're gonna be streaming like almost every day now. Going through learning Python, which I think it's helpful. I think it's important, and I think like if other people are learning to code, learning Python, especially doing that same course, seeing the challenges that you're going through and how you figure it out, I think it's very, very helpful. Let's see. So for anyone who want to witness a struggle, it's a good struggle. It is a good struggle, and you always you end up figuring it out. And one more thing, I told Ferris yesterday, like I think it's time for you to walk away because of what he was like. And then he came back to it this morning, and like by the time I signed on, he had already figured it out, and boom. So that's why like sometimes you if they say day 2, just do day 2. Don't go into day 3, especially if you are learning something new, because you also want the thing that you did, the thing that you learned to sink in as well. So take that into consideration. It says, there's a few roles in general, not sure if you ever heard of that you may or may not like. It says, my coworker that was in the chat also said the same thing. We just see the code, but we don't interact with it. And my level of cyber is just read permissions only. Fair. Yep. Mitch said I could be myself. Let's see. It says, network cloud architecture, data security analyst, network cloud engineer, data security. But the thing is with those roles though, like they're getting into coding as well, because if you can set that up with Terraform and you can automate it and stuff like that, Terraform is also code. So you got to think about that. It says another example in my field, we get snippets of code for what we suspect. I say SQL lie or SQLi, but not the entire reference. Makes sense. That's a long title. That's hilarious. That's a long title. And your card says what I was mentioning, like there's no gray area in the coding language, right? You can't like, and here's the thing with that, with there's no gray area. There are many different ways to solve a problem, because like you can give your car and I the same exact problem, and we can figure it out in like 2 totally different ways. I can take a very, very long route. Your car can write it in 1 line. It will still get the same results. But there's no gray area in the in the syntax or the logic, because if I should be like, let's say the order of operation we learned in elementary school, right? And I should have had a parentheses to do a division or a multiplication, and I didn't put it, that can throw the whole answer off. Just like in math. And that's why I always talk about like taking it away from the code, and I write out my steps and stuff like that, and I go from there, right? And Ferris says, yeah, that's what I was saying on the stream yesterday. Needs to know the syntax and repetition of recognizing the syntax or knowing the syntax to use for the situation. And the syntax is going to come, but I think it's more, like I was saying, I think it's more important that you get, you know what, like, you know, the logic to get to the right answer first, and then code the logic instead of writing out the syntax and then figuring out the logic. So that's just me. That's just me. And Mitch says fail fast. And Ferris says 1,000 days of Python. Yakari says 100 equals false. Not tired of this coding. Uh, it says, yeah, daily until I finish. It says, is infrastructure as code equals Terraform or just, yeah, I mean, Terraform is a form of infrastructure as code, but I mean, they have like tools like Packer, they have tools like Ansible. It's not maybe not necessarily the infrastructure because Terraform is for setting up the resources like AWS, Microsoft Azure, like, Google Cloud Platform. You can do, and whoever else that like has Terraform integration, like Mongo, Atlas, things like that. It's more for connecting to the provider. For like AWS is a provider, Google Cloud Platform is a provider, Mongo, Atlas is a provider. That is your providers, and you write your Terraform code to set that up. There's probably other companies that do that as well. But Terraform is it's like probably the most popular infrastructure as code one. And then it just integrates into the DevOps process. So yeah, that is pretty much it. All right. So with that being said, we are going to get started with the show. And your car also says you should have understanding of what's going on instead of memorization. That is a fact. Message. That is 100% true. Right? Having the understanding of what's going on instead of memorization. Because and this is why this is so true. Because I remember the concepts. And every time when I'm coding, I'm like, okay, like basic stuff. I'm like, okay, how do I do this again? And then I'm like, okay, I got it. And I take that code, but I can't, like, it's just impossible to memorize all this type of stuff. The understanding is way more important than memorizing. Shot one more time for your car. And Mitch says, I am a human computer. I'm logged on. And you know what that gets? You know what that gets up. Oh, yeah! All right. So we're going to get to it. Here we go. Let's get to...
It's time.
What in the world is that? Okay. I'm like, what? All right. So we are going to get that. And we're going to go over to... First, we're going to start off with AWS. And we're going to be using the Secrets Manager. So Secrets Manager, it is a way to store your credentials and pulling them out through AWS Secrets Manager. We had a live stream on it like back in October 15th, 2023, where we were trying that out. So what we're going to do, we're going to just leave this page up in AWS, in AWS. And as we work our way through Terraform, we should see it start to pop up over here, right? So if I click on this, is there anything in here? So sample code and stuff like that. So this sample code is how to actually use it inside of your code. And that might actually be something that I do later on, is like how to put it inside of the Python code, and use the password from there. I don't know. That's something to think of in the future. But anyways, and we're going to be using this guide right here. AWS. It's from Doppler. I'll drop it in the chat in case anybody's interested in that. You know something I like on your stream, Ferris? I like the Pomodoro timer that you have showing up there. That's pretty cool. I have to get that from you. It's a lot prettier than my timer that I set up. But I do have sounds associated with my timer. I don't know. Let's see what else that we have. All right, so we're going to be using this, and it says, all right, so let's get a quick recap of what AWS Secrets Manager is and how we can use it with Terraform. So AWS Secrets Manager is an excellent service for managing sensitive information like database credentials, which we're going to be doing, certificates, passwords, and tokens in the cloud, while infrastructure as code, IAC, tools like Terraform can integrate with Secrets Manager, management services like Secrets Manager, KMS, and Parameter Store. Terraform's native secrets management has some limitations. This article discusses the best practices for secrets management in Terraform. We cover how Terraform can be configured to create and retrieve secrets using the Secrets Manager, and discuss the challenges of Terraform's native secrets management approach. We also look at how third-party tools can address Terraform's limitations and provide a example of how such tools can streamline secrets management for multiple platforms, right? So summary of secrets supported in Terraform: IAM user credentials, database credentials, tokens, SSH pairs, and environment. And I think we did SSH pairs at some point in the past when we were setting up EC2 instances. All right. Summary of secrets management best practices in Terraform: avoid storing secrets in plain text. Very, very true. All right. Using Terraform data module to retrieve. Yeah, we're going to do that. We did that for also the Route 53 type stuff. So you can use data modules to pull in parts that are already inside of your AWS. Pass secrets to Terraform as input variables, variable definition files, or environment variables. Store Terraform state in a remote backend instead of a local state file. I think we have that. And use tools that can inject secrets dynamically for team collaboration. All right. Best practices for secret management in Terraform. Avoid storing secrets in plain text. So we know that. So you don't. All right. So resource like that. And variable DB password like that. Create a variables.tf file. We have one of those. And that's the file that I'm going to have the passwords in, which I'm not going to share that file, or at least I'll try not to. All right. And let's see. Now use Terraform plan and pass the secrets as a so sensitive equals true. So we could do that here, but I would rather do that with the AWS Secrets Manager. But you could just do a variable database password and then you put it in here. But we're not going to do that. Terraform will perform the following actions, and AWS. So let's see. AWS Secrets DB password will be created. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna set this up AWS Secrets Manager, and then DB password, and we're gonna say get that DB password from. Let's see, where you get it from? You're gonna get it from here, and the resource is so DB password and version secret string. All right, so that's gonna be it right there. All right, var.db password, which it is set up here. But where are they passing the password? Let's see. Finally perform. Where did they set the password though? That's what I'm wondering. They got the description. I think it's somewhere here. So if you have passwords secrets in JSON, you can use the following method. Users can pass the secret with the var command line. Oh, wait a second. Let me see. Let me see. Users can enter the secret inside and specify this on the command line using the var argument. Users can enter the secret in the tf-vars file. Do I have a tf-vars file? Let me see. Thought I did. Let's see. Or you can pass them in via environment variables. Store Terraform state in a remote. Okay. Let's see. And of course, you're going to do some marketing for Doppler. Let me move this out. And let me get some notes. All right, cool. So I think we have a decent approach of how we're gonna get to this. It's pretty much this is what we need right here. The AWS Secrets Manager, DB password, set up a variable. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna set up the variable before I even share the screen. And then once that's done, I can just close out that file because I won't need to access it again. And we'll do it like this. So let's do this. I am gonna go back to full screen. And I'm gonna start, is your TF file encrypted with open SSL? No. Your car asks, is your TS file? I'm gonna go with no because I highly doubt. I don't remember ever doing that to encrypt it. But I also don't have passwords that are in. I don't have passwords that are in that are committed in the TF files. So I have a variable file that has like whatever credentials that I'm eventually gonna move them out of there as well. But the variable files don't have it. So let me set this up, right? So we have I'll show this screen while I do that. We have this one. All right, so let's do variable password, and that would be, actually I'm gonna call that MongoDB. And we're gonna go to MongoDB Atlas password. And I'm gonna say that the type is a string, sensitive equals true, and put it in for now. But yeah, like your car is saying, you would definitely move them. Yeah, I will do that. And one more variable. I just put the whole MongoDB Atlas URL. And let's say MongoDB Atlas URL. So it's true. All right, just gonna do this last one and then we should be good. All right, so now I can close this file and then I can share the screen. Cool. All right, so let's go with, all right, so I think next up we're gonna have to do the resource part, right? So we can go ahead and share the screen. What? Oh God. Let's go to, why is that there? Hold on. Let me see what's going on. The good thing about Mongo Atlas when is that you can't connect to it without IP addresses. So why did that screen share? Hold on. Where's my screen share? What is screen left? Oh, what's going on? Screen share. Where is Let me do this. I go here and I go here. Why is that screen sharing? Hold on a second. Let me see. Screen default. Oh, I know what to do. Let's go to secondary. All right. Well, that password's gonna get changed. Let me see what I had over there. Cool. Anyways, yeah. So that password's gonna get changed. All right. Anyways, let's continue. See your card. Even when you try to be secure, then the software messes up on you. Anyways, let's see. It makes no sense. I'm like, it just decided to share the wrong screen. I'm like, whatever. All right. Luckily, you can also change that through Terraform, which we will do. All right. So here we are. Let's go over to. Let's create a new resource in here. Terraform. And we're going to call this file, new file. One mistake I made in when I was first doing this, I put everything in the same file. Instead of, like, everything in here was in the same file. Instead of separating the Elastic Beanstalk, because I didn't know at the time. So I could have all the Elastic Beanstalks together, and then I could separate. I probably will go back and refactor it to put like the Route 53 stuff together. So I have like one file for this and one file for this. But not too bad. All right, anyways, let's continue. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna do resource. And that's gonna be AWS Secrets Manager Secrets. And that's gonna be called, we'll call that one PPQ Mongo DB password. And we can say here, and we can say name equals all right, that's going to be, you know how many times I had to change these keys and stuff because it's like sharing the wrong, it's a mess. It's a mess. But luckily, my AWS is pretty locked down. Let's go to name. What would that name be there? Let's go with dev. Yeah. Why is dev my? Let me see what they. Or I'll just do. Let's say we'll go with. I don't know why it's named that way. Let's take a look at the AWS secrets again. Let's go over to here. Secrets name. guess it would name it. All right, so let's go with, let's go back over here. Make sure it works this time. All right, cool. Let's go with, what name do I want to go with this? Let's say, I'll call it. Let's call it the same thing. And we're going to go with another one saying resource is AWS Secrets Manager version. And then that's going to be DB password. Or I guess I'll call it this one. And that's going to be version. And then we're going to need let's see what the requirements are for this one. Just a secrets ID. We're going to call that AWS Secrets Manager secret dot ID, and we're gonna have the secret string, and that's gonna be the var dot MongoDB password. And I'm also going to do another one, resource. And it is really, really cheap for AWS to manage your secrets as well. So I was looking into that. The AWS Secrets Manager. Like when I was doing research on this, and we're going to say ppq MongoDB URL. And I'll probably like optimize this, but just for now. Thinking. Yeah, it's okay.
Lunch break.
I'm just finished typing this out and then we can go to break. Name. Let me copy that. And we shall go to resource, AWS Secret Manager version, ppq MongoDB URL version. And then we'll say AWS secret dot URL dot ID, secret string var dot MongoDB atlas URL. All right, cool. That should do it. But we'll run it when we come back from break. Let's go to full screen. And that was super annoying because the software just totally changed up it just changed up the screen that I was going to share. So when I pressed screen left, it went to the screen that is not supposed to be shown, and then it showed the URL for Mongo. But that's not a big deal because I can easily change the password, and then you guys won't be able to hack into my database. So that's one thing I like about Mongo Atlas, and as well as AWS, where you can restrict who can connect to it. So I'm not really worried about it. I can just have like my IP is allowed to access it. Whoever's in the group who's working on it, the coaching group, they have access to it. But you could allow all IPs, but I do not have that enabled. So shout out to me, but also a failure. All right, let's go to break. So I'm gonna put 5 minutes up on the clock for our break. And I got a comment left on a video that I did 11 months ago. This was done on June 18th, 2023. Right. So I just wanted to share that real quick. I want to share the comment why these comments they are so impactful for me. All right. And all right, so I'm just gonna share the screen, and then we'll take a brief look at the video. So this is a video that I did almost 1 year ago when I first got started with this channel. And I was like, we'll take a look. We'll go down memory lane. All right, so let's go down memory lane. All right, so this comment says that, and first it was written in Russian, and they also wrote it in English. But it says, "Man, thanks. Partly thanks to your video, I was able to test via Selenium Wire. Yes, in test mode. Yes, it is covered in warnings, but it worked thanks to you. I needed Selenium Wire and not Selenium, and only with you I found the missing piece of the puzzle."
Let's get it. We the best.
And like I've gotten like comments like this before. I got one on Airflow. Although we didn't actually figure out how to do it to Airflow, but we did a lot of progress on it. The problem that we had with Airflow was that I think what the person was using to set up had too many things in it. And that person that was using Airflow, I think they were from either Japan or I think it might have been Tokyo. But the interesting thing is, right? The interesting thing is, this video was like from almost a year ago. And we'll take a look at it, but it's just interesting that something that you could create that long ago, people found it useful and helpful. And this is like, so let's go take a look at the video, right? So this this is when I had just gotten started. Like honestly, Selenium Wire, to use it with the Selenium grid, was something I was trying to figure out for work. And I was like, oh, let's just stream trying to figure it out. And that's when I had hired Stream Elements, which I have recently put on a pip because it wouldn't show up when I needed it to, and that's why we're using Nightbot. But this is a video from there was no lights. I'm surprised like the hats were already there by that time. But like my early videos, there was like nothing here. Like I don't even know if there was a picture there. But yeah, so there were no lights at the time. Let's take a quick listen. Mute myself and let's take a listen. Are you guys able to hear that? I don't know if there is sound coming through on this. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Can't tell if there's sound coming through on this. All right, let me why not? Let me see if I can get the sound to work. Output. Let me see. Preferences. Audio. Doing fireworks outside. Should have been playing. I don't know. That's weird. That is weird why it's not playing. Let me see if I can find a way to get it to play. Well, I'll figure it out. Maybe on the next break we will get the. I don't know why it's not playing. It should have been playing. Usually they would have a thing for.
Get a move on, back to work, chop chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
Why are they doing fireworks right now? That make no sense. Anyways, I'll get it to work. on maybe on the next break. I don't know. It should have just played, but I figured it out. But that'll be fun to go down memory lane just a little bit to see what I was talking about almost a year ago. But anyways, let's check the chat real quick to see what is going on, and then we'll get back to running this Terraform file. Let's see. Ferris had said, I don't know. When I say translate, I mean I know what 1 + 1 is in plain text and understand it, but writing it out in code is different than 1 + 1 to execute. Let's see. So I answered that about your car is asking if the TF file is encrypted with OpenSSL. I'm gonna have to look into that as well. Let me add that to my AnyDo list to see, because I don't even really know what that means. So I mean I know encrypting in SSL. What's wrong with these people? Let's see. It's like 3:42. They're doing fireworks or something outside. Encrypt with. Are you guys able to hear the fireworks? Encrypt TF with OpenSSL. And let me just add a note. Change the MongoDB password because the software decided to flake out. All right. Enable. All right, so got those notes. Let's see what else we got. Aircraft said that would make sense. I would definitely move those as you were saying. Yeah, definitely gonna move those away. Going international, Mr. International. Yep, no RBG lights at the time. That boy had a glow. Hey, you know. When that is a good question. That is a good question. It's not. You know what? I don't. The glasses have a reflection in the. They have a reflection in the lights. So I'm like, it's just not wear the glasses. But I always don't like the reflection. I don't even think I might have not even had lights when I was doing this video. And says, let's see. See what social media does to you. It says, Ralph, you need help over there. I got send them. All right. I'm gonna get it to work on the next break. All right. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I apologize. I don't know what happened to it though. Like it's so weird that that's not fireworks. We heard those little black cats. Anyways, let's get back to it. I don't know. That's so weird that the sound wouldn't play, but I'll figure it out because I do want to share that to see what we had going on back then. All right, but let's means so your car also says OpenSSL .tf OpenSSL. Oh, so that's something in particular, right? So it means the in and the out is secure. No one can. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna look. I might even do a video about that at some point because that is you know me. Like whenever you guys tell me about, oh, have you heard of this? I'm like, no. Let's do a video about it. You know. All right, cool. So let's get to we're gonna run this right. Our TF apply or Terraform. Let's run the plan first. What? Oh, CD Terraform. And then Terraform. And it's probably gonna do like 2 changes. So it's gonna do 1 change removing what I had in there before for the I had the Mongo URL inside of this file, but I took that out. And then it's going to create these. It's going to create these things. All right. So it's going to create the secrets manager for. So it's going to create the secrets manager for the MongoDB password. It's going to create a version for it with the password that I have set in the file that I'm not going to share, although you probably already know it because the stupid software showed the wrong screen. And then it has the. It's going to create the one for the URL as well, right? So let's go ahead and run that. Mouse. All right, let's say yes. And while that's happening, let's go over to this screen. And we should be able to refresh. And boom, there you go. What we just added. And it's gonna take some time to do some other stuff to remove some stuff, but that's cool. So we have, I wonder if I click on here, not that it matters anymore. But yeah, so now you can't see, unless I was to like do retrieve secret value, but it is, so now we have that secret that I stored inside of the password one, as well as we have the URL inside of here as well. Although, okay, this is password. This one is URL. Cool, perfect. So I think that part is already done. So the next step would be to, which that takes some time to do. But the next step would be to add that secret into the environment variables for the Elastic Beanstalk, which that might take some time because it's taking some time to do the modifications. When we're okay, actually, it's done, right? So what we're gonna do next is let's take a well before we do anything next, let's take a look at the documentation. We did this. Now we use Terraform plan and pass a secret as a variable to review changes. All right, we got all that. We did all that. Next up, use Terraform data modules to retrieve the secrets. So we are going to be doing a data module to retrieve the password for MongoDB. And then we're going to, or we'll do not the password, we'll just the URL. I'll do some changes offline on how I want to manage that information. But if I can get, so what we need to do on our own is we're going to use this to retrieve the password through a data module. But what we're going to do is we're going to pass this as a what do you call it? We're going to pass that as an environment variable into our Elastic Beanstalk. So let's go to, I don't need that. So let me see how they use it in here. So they use it as data.aws secrets manager dot yada yada. All right, so now let me go into there is something I don't like about the way that it's gonna happen, but let's see. This is the Elastic Beanstalk that we created. I don't even know how long ago. Like this was like earlier this year. Let's see when we created it. Created February 18th, and we went back and forth with this for quite a while until we actually got it to work. But let's see. So let me see before I share the screen. Let me see. Let me see what I have in here. I think it's in configuration. Actually, it's not going to show up anymore. All right, cool. It's not going to show up anymore. So here we are. Here we are. So because everything is done, so we have our collection name, we have our Google Sheets URL. That's what's currently pulling up the quotes from right now. We have, so I added the node environment to be production, and the database name has that. So now, if we want to, a couple of ways to do it. We could, see my only concern would, I guess, gotta put it somewhere. Whatever, it doesn't matter at this point because I can always find a better way to manage that. But let's do this. Let me get some water. I might have to change the password anyway. So if it ends up showing up, then it is what it is, right? But let's go ahead and or let me see something. Let's do a quick search. How to hide password environment variable in Elastic Beanstalk. Because we have time. It's still early. It's not even 4 o'clock yet. Is there a way of hiding environment variables? See me. One thing, like I didn't even start the timer.
Let's go! Let's go!
One thing I do as soon as I find myself asking myself a question that I don't know the answer to, I Google it. So like I was saying right here, like I'm thinking because I'm like, all right, I don't want the passwords to show up in this environment variable in this environment section here. And as I said the question, I'm like, wow, why don't you just Google it? And then first link is Stack Overflow, and this was like asked 7 years ago. So my Elastic Beanstalk app has a number of environment variables that are credential, API keys, hashing secrets. I would like to set up AWS so that most developers can view and edit the config, but they can't see some of these environment variables. That's what I'm thinking about. Let's see. So it says, this is how I use Elastic Beanstalk environment variables for setting RDS passwords. They have it as that. Well, that's interesting. So AWS Secrets Manager, get secret ID, ARN. I guess, oh, that's a little, I don't, let me see. Password stored in AWS Secrets Manager as JSON. Makes sense. Oh, but this is how they're getting it from, this is how they're getting it from, like from Elastic Beanstalk, straight, putting it, all right, cool. Let's see. I found a way of hiding all variables using using IAM policy to deny describing the Elastic Beanstalk environment. Interesting. Let's see what else they have. Your card says secrets.json. How to specify sensitive environment variables at deployment with Elastic Beanstalk and Terraform. Trying to think what your card means by secrets.json. Then update your application code to extract values from the file, TMP variable. So they're adding, okay, so let me add Terraform to this. How I securely manage, talk about asking exactly what I'm asking. How to securely manage environment variables for AWS Elastic Beanstalk using Terraform. We are managing an Elastic Beanstalk application via Terraform, and we are unsure the best way to handle sensitive environment variables for our application. Currently, we are storing these sensitive values in AWS Secrets Manager. During the Terraform apply, we use a data source to load the secret, exactly what I'm talking about. We then iterate over the key pair value in the secret and create setting code blocks within our AWS Elastic Beanstalk environment. There are a couple of concerns we have. We have to mark our sensitive values as non-sensitive because Terraform does not allow the use of sensitive values as arguments for each. This means that the plain text values are logged in our Terraform plan and Terraform apply. This is an issue within our CI/CD pipeline, but the workaround is to redirect all logs to dev/null. Our sensitive values appear in the plain text of our TF state. All right. And absolutely nobody answered them. Sorry. That's setting the key and variable and so you're saying you would have a JSON file. You'd have a JSON file, and then that would be the key value pair for the that would be the key value pair for the what am I looking for here? That would be the key value pair that it would pretty much like loop through and stuff like that. I think I understand what you're saying. How do I do that? Not sure yet. Not sure yet. But we can definitely look into that later. Let's see here. What's this one? Hide security, which similar, but just curious about the Terraform part. Anyways, I think for right now, because I have to change the password anyway. So kids, don't do this at home, right? But because I'm gonna have to change the password anyways, I just want to see if this is gonna work. So let's just let's try it out, and then I'll end up changing the password anyways because Ecamm showed the wrong screen. Ecamm showed the wrong screen. So shout out to Ecamm. Shout out to Ecamm. All right, so let's go into here. You know what? Let me do this. Let me move these things around as well. So if we go into new, let's say, that's gonna be, actually I'm on this screen right here. So I'm moving the files to its own screen. Route 53.tf. Add that. That way we have like a little bit cleaner code as well. So let me move this one to that one. And this is for the code pipeline. All this is for code pipeline. Code pipeline. This is for, let's see, this is for the certificate. Also for the certificate. Also for the certificate. All right, cool. So if we say new folder or new file, db code pipeline.tf. And I say we take the code pipeline code and move that. All right, let's take that, move that to code pipeline. And let's do one more for our certificates. See, and this is the part about software development is always looking for opportunities to refactor. When you see something that's not clean, then you go out there and you clean it up. You know, so when we first were learning, we had that reminds me of my first automation script. I had this long Java file, like here, and now everything is so nice and neat. And you know, you go back and you refactor. You know, that's very, very important. So let's say this new file is going to be Amazon Certificate Manager certs.tf. And we take this one. And I think I just need, I don't know who's using that one, but let's just take that whole thing. And we put it here. And now we have more files, but they are more clean and everything is here. All right. So this is the output of the value. Let's go in here. So now we're going to go into this setting. I guess it's in here. And if we say, these are some environment variables. So if we say, let's first get our data. Let's get our data first. Let's go to say data and AWS Secrets Manager. And let's take a look at how they did it over here, getting the data. All right. And we have AWS. So the data, all right. And then that's going to be, what would have it as? It would be, let's take this one. Or actually, it's going to be from this one. And then we open up our brackets and we're going to, oh, we're over here. Open up our brackets and it's going to be our, actually, what URL for this one? And now we have name equals that. And then we have data, and now it's going to be AWS Secrets Manager version. And then we do what was the other one called? We do that one and that one. And that one is going to be secret ID data dot AWS Secret Manager secret dot ID. So that should do it. And now when we run this, we should get the URL of the like the connection string for Mongo in there. So now this part might take some time, but oh wait, there's one more part to it as well. So wait, it's actually, hold on, this is wrong. Wait, what? Okay, so that's good. And then here, AWS Secrets Manager data AWS Secrets Manager dot version dot Mongo version dot secret string. So that's there. Let's see. And so that's there. I mean, whatever. Like we can add this environment variable. I'm gonna remove it and find a better way to do it. But just to see it working, setting name MongoDB URL namespace is gonna be this one. And here we're going to say data.aws secret manager version dot that dot secret string. Yep. So that should be it. It says if you stored secrets as a JSON, you could also use the following method instead. But if I did that, it would still end up showing it. Anyways, whatever. So let's give it a run. Terraform plan. This might take a few minutes as well, because what's this? Let's see. AWS or data AWS Secrets Manager may not refer to itself. All right, let's see. DB password version. What's up with our data? AWS Secrets Manager. With the name. So first we create a resource with a name. Then we created the version. Oh, wait, no, that's good. So we have this MongoDB. We have that. And then we come over here and we have resource AWS. Wait, so we did that one already. So we have over here data AWS secrets, data AWS secrets manager, and then the password, and then same as up here. And then we have data AWS secrets version. And then we have, okay, and then we have secret ID is AWS secrets manager. Okay. Okay, that's what it is. All right, so it's this one, AWS secrets manager. Why did when I scroll over, it gave me something different? And then PPQ MongoDB URL, and then ID. So where did that other thing come from? Where was that not the wrong thing? Let me see. Where did I get that from? Okay. So we got this. Now, when we go down into here, AWS secret version, DB password. And okay, I think that's it. All right, I think that's it. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so it's going to make one change, which might take some time because that change is in that file, but whatever. Terraform, apply. What? All righty then. Let's say yes. So now we should be adding this, and we'll see if it's there. It'll probably print out the whole string, but whatever. As long as we can, as long as we see that it's working, then I can find a strategy to not store that password inside of the environment. Just got to see what's the best way to do that with MongoDB. And then look into that secrets. Oh, you know what I think? You know what? Oh, you know what I'm thinking? Now that I'm thinking a little bit more about what your car was saying is store a file that has like secrets.json. So I have an idea. All right, cool. I have an idea. Which we can try that on our next break actually, or not break, but like if we do like one more segment, what we can do is we can say, all right, let's create this secrets file. Got to find a way to
Lunch break! Lunch break!
got to think about it. But I have an idea. I have an idea of how we can do it, right? But yeah, let's go to break. So we're at break. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. So if I create a JSON file and I call it secrets.json, maybe store the file in AWS Secrets Manager, and then pull in the file and have it use. No, but it's gonna get that by. I don't know. I gotta think about it. Anyways. Yeah, let's go to break. Let me put up a timer for 5 minutes. And let me see if I can get this video to work. And then I'll check the chat, right? See if I can get the video to work. Let's see. I don't know where is my where is the thing to play system sounds? Let me see. Broadcast. Let me try this again. Okay. Let's go here. Let me share the screen. I have a way to do it if this doesn't work, but all right, we should let me see. I don't see it showing here. Well, all right, I'll do this. I'll do it this way. So we'll go here and I'll just say all the time for now. And let's see. All right, let's see if this is gonna work, all right?
A software explorations.
There you go. You should hear it
What
now.
we're going to do, we are going to be going through setting up Selenium Wire on Docker to work with the,
Like the video about
remote
it.
driver. So we're going to be doing Selenium Grid, Selenium Wire, Dockerized. That's the plan for this afternoon. So before we get going into that, let's do some housekeeping. I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that are out there celebrating. And college should be seen no different. It's a tool to get to where you actually want to go. So don't harp on not being able to, like not going to school for it and your growth.
See what I was talking
College
about over
should
here.
be seen no different. It's a tool to develop, but I don't want you to think it's the end all be all. To me, everything that comes in, everything that you come across is a tool, right? So the same way this channel is a tool for your development and your growth, college should be seen no different. It's a tool to get to where you actually want to go. So don't harp on not being able to, like not going to school for it. If you are able to at some point, then go to school, get that formalized education, because it does help in the long run if you want to move up the corporate ladder in that sense, right? But to continue with to answer the question that was asked was, yeah, so if I didn't go to college for this, what kind of boot camp should I do? Like if I could recommend any boot camp. And here is my stance, whether popular or unpopular, on boot camps. I guess they're useful for certain types
Fair
of people.
use.
But for me, the cost of these boot camps, they don't outweigh the they don't outweigh if you were to what's the word I'm looking for? If you were to develop discipline and dedication on yourself so you could win, I think it would be one, better for you, and two, a lot cheaper for you. All right. And what do I mean by that? So in answering the question that was asked, I did a quick look to around right here. That's as far as we're getting. All right. So what do we do? The first thing that I say that we do is we're going to get a we're gonna get a Docker container for the Selenium grid. All right. And we're gonna install that, and then that way you can see it. You can see what the Selenium grid is if you're not familiar with it. If you're not familiar with Selenium grid, what Selenium grid allows you to do is to run your Selenium test on a remote location. That's why it's called the remote driver. And by remote, it can be on a Docker. Oops, that's not a comment. Yeah, just commented out. What
back
happens?
to work, chop chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
So that was a look back down memory lane. But yeah, so that was from a year ago. I'm gonna read the comments. Let me go through the comments. I'm gonna maybe I'll highlight some of the stuff that Mitch and Ferris were talking about, but it was a lot. So let's see. Let me see. Your car had also left a comment saying, TF means the ins and outs are secure. And Ferris asked, would TLS 1.3 be better or the same as OpenSSL? And your car says you can use them together in Terraform. That is good to know. I mean, I really don't know how your car knows. Like, he is in tune with all of these different systems and technologies and stuff. I'm like, I am amazed. I'm like, how does he like stay so in tune with all these little aspects and sectors of it, and still make music and still run his farm and all that good stuff. I am, you know what? I got it. Your car is very, very impressive. I must say. All right. So it says, let me see. So yeah, I'm going to look into the secrets. I have to think about it. I have to think about like how I would implement, because I'm thinking, I don't know. I have to think about it. I have a lot of thoughts running through my mind about that. So when Mitch asked about if he spoke to his friend about the three data analyst jobs, says I did. He recommended Google Analytics or Google Data Analytics and some projects to get in and try a reference, but he does contract, it seems. So Mitch says do some research on that. Yeah, you got to do research on any course you're going to take. Heard mixed reviews. Some employees don't care about it. Probably like, I don't know. Maybe on our next break, I'll look up some data analyst course to see if any of them mention Google Analytics. Because from what I don't know, it's like mostly in cybersecurity, I'll see them reference to certificates, but usually I don't see, like, for most fields, I don't see the mention of certificates a lot. So like QA, people are always talking about ISTQB, but then I barely see any jobs. Maybe a government job or a government contracting job that might reference it because the government wants, because they don't know what they're doing. They'll say, oh yeah, we want them to have the certification, like if that's NLBL. But I'm curious about data analytics or data engineering, stuff like that. do they really care about these certificates and stuff, or like where you get your education from? But that's interesting. It says, let's see. I want to read this one. So Mitch says that also the contracts is dope. That's why he's only working 10 hours. But if you can get a full time and a contract, you'll be good. However, since those roles aren't usually customer facing, it's more. So yeah, setting the key and the variable and telling AWS to do its job. That's a fact. Internal meetings, if that's just depends on the company. Let me see. Disclaimer, kids, don't try this at home. Yeah, I'm like, I just want to see if it works. But yeah, don't do what I'm doing. And I have to change the password anyway, so this is why it doesn't even matter at this point. At your car, I'm gonna get this sound bite. I have to get this sound bite. At this point, what difference does it make? Oh my goodness. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's see. So this is a very, very true statement because people always ask about entry level and stuff like that. Junior roles are rare. There are some, but very rare. And 3 with a lot of zeros, million people who are going for them. I think it was Ferris who showed me this job application for an internship the other day, where he sent me a picture, and it was like 10,000 people applied for this internship. About 8,000 of them were entry level, and then about 1,500 were senior level for internship. We're talking about for internship, and then about 500 of them were like at a higher level than entry level. I was like, this is crazy. This is totally crazy. All right, let me see what else we got. It's easier to transition at your current job. I know you mentioned yours really doesn't have it though. You see, Mitch and I are here because like I'm always talking about like try to transition first in your current job if possible, and then now you go out. Like now that you have that experience, now you can go out and apply for something else. Because just by taking a Udemy course and stuff like that, it is so hard. Like even taking a boot camp, it is so hard to because places are still looking for colleges, you know. Yeah. So first you'll check the roadmap. It says I would say core. So all right, exclusive. Mitch says, I would say core skill set is Tableau, SQL, cleaning data, cleaning data and duplicates, and Excel. And that gets up.
Message.
Mitch, did you know that I did ETL, like ETL engineer for like a year? Extract, transform, and load. I did that for like a year. Managing the company's ETL because they had fired their data and analytics team. Or I should say, laid them off. And it says, let's see. It says, it depends, not usually, but there are some jobs that require that you know Python and R, but I'm not sure if that's just a wish list or if they really want it. But here's the thing with that, right? If they want it, they're gonna get somebody who has it. And even if they don't use it much, they'd rather have it and not use it than need it and not have it. So that's why it's so important to learn these coding languages, because I'd rather have it in my back pocket and always like keeping up with that skill than not having it. So, it says, Mitch also says, and also it's, if they're requiring R and Python, in my opinion, for an analyst, they really are going to have you do some data science engineering work, a mixture of all three. So not sure how the pay will reflect. They'll probably have you see, and that's the thing, right? You also be able to use that as leverage. Because let's say you get it. You say you get a data analyst role, but they start having you going towards that direction, but they have you as a data analyst. Well, you can bring up, okay, so if I'm going to be doing this work, like now it's promotion. Like you see, I can do the work. Even if you're like entry level at it. So let's say they hire you as a data analytics, mid level, maybe senior data level data analyst. But you're also starting to go towards the data science, data engineering realm. So like, all right, can I get a title change? Can I get a promotion? Like, because now you're already in the company. Now you have leverage to negotiate even more. So I like the way you think, Mitch. I like the way you think. All right. And I says, also critical thinking, problem solving, attention to detail. That's a fact. That is a fact. Where's mine? I would say even some form of project management skills. Yep, totally agree. It says doesn't care about pay. Will come with. All right. Let's see. Wait, let me read this. I gotta read this. So in terms of pay, I don't really care how much right now. It's more investing in skill set than that are relevant for now and can be evolved in the future. The pay will come with time. 2 to 3 jobs at the same time, or 2 to 3 jobs in like two or three jobs down the road. If it's at the same time, that's a lot of work. There's a lot of work, a lot of thinking, stuff like that. I would rather maximize the pay from one job and then be able to look at my other personal opportunities. But though everyone can figure it out for themselves. Just don't go believing those videos on YouTube saying, "Oh yeah, I'm working like 5 jobs, bringing in $1 million a year, working these 5 jobs. I work from." Just be careful with those videos. Be careful with those videos. Let's see. Anything else before? Let's see. Ferris. Don't take a 10K a year data cyber job. And Mitch said, listen to Mitch, guys. Listen to Mitch. Like I said the other day, I think it will be a little tough for you because you're trying to learn both at the same time.
Message.
And guess what, Mitch? I started going through my data engineering course again. I started because I'm gonna do the pandas and the NumPy again, and then I'm gonna attack the PyPlot again. I'm gonna see if I can do that like during my lunch break, but I'm not gonna stream it. I'm just gonna be working on that on my own. Let's see. Barrett says the grind can even be free. For my area, 75K is the sweet spot. All right, let's see what else we got. They're laughing at the audio. Let's see what else. Mitch said he made sacrifices. I was there. That had to be. You know what? Let me do something real quick. We'll do that on our last break. But I had to be like maybe 4 streams in. Had to be like 4 streams in. And it says, "Glad you kept going, homie."
I appreciate you.
And I needed like 5 energy drinks for that video. How many people were in the chat when you first started? I don't know if there's anybody in that chat. Let me see if I can go. There was nobody. There was nobody in the chat at the time. Just as time kept going, all my friends showed up, and his data is more so on the job. His data is more so on the job knowledge. And let's see, Ralph handling the data. $1 million a year for 5 jobs. And pandas is popular. Forgot to mention that. Yep. Pandas and NumPy. I got out like that part of it. Like when I was, I'll show my notebook. What do they call it again? Anaconda? No, it's not. Jupyter notebooks. I'll show my Jupyter notebooks once I get that up and running again. I was really good with the NumPy and the pandas because I can break down data and stuff like that. It's those damn those damn plots. Oh, that thing drove me crazy. But I'm gonna master it this time, right? Beautiful soup. Yeah, that's important for scraping data. Oh, I hate it. Anyways, but beautiful soup. I was able to because of like one more thing, because of beautiful soup, that's how I was able to find out about this. I had another stream on this channel about M3U8, which is what video streaming uses to like, live streaming and stuff like that. But when I was thinking about using Beautiful Soup to extract the data, one of like the lead engineer was like, "Yeah, but I think Beautiful Soup is just for XML and HTML." So I'm like, "Oh, you know what? Let me look for M3U8 parser," and boom, now my whole team, like pretty much a big portion of the work that I do is running through the M3U8 parser because of just innovation. Like, oh, I wonder if this exists. It exists in Python, and now it does so much validation for us. So always keeping your mind, like, what Mitch was saying, like critical thinking, innovation and stuff like that, right? Anyways, we are going to go to our last 20-minute segment of the day as we go and see if this was added to our environments inside of the Elastic Beanstalk, and then I will wipe it down, or I'll take it out and change the password, find a better way of implementing it. All right. Anyways, maybe that'll be like maybe next week or something. I don't know. Seeing how we can implement that. I don't know. Maybe I'll start on it. I don't know. I have to. I'll Google it. So we'll find out. So, anyways, let's take a look at here. Put our last 20 minutes.
It's time to do.
And we have. So it went through. If we go back to the other one. And let's see, moment of truth. Refresh. And we go down here. And there it goes. It worked. I'm gonna change it anyways so that it doesn't show up in here. But it worked. I'll get that password updated. It's all Terraformed anyway, so I can get a new password in Terraform and go from there. But let's do some research. Let's do some research while we have the time. And it's getting cold in here. I'll just turn the AC off. I was gonna put a hoodie on, but I'll just turn the AC off. All right, so here we are. Let's see, how do we, let me see. With AWS Secrets. Trying to think what I'm searching for. I want to do read from let me see. How do you let me see. Jesus. All right, hold on. Overflow.ai. Overflow AI. I didn't see that. Let's see. Beanstalk. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. Get config util to read your Elastic Beanstalk environment variable to transform. Let me see. It's not. Trying to think what I'm looking for. Sometimes that's tricky, right? Because you're trying to think through like the right let me see. Terraform, Elastic, Beanstalk, environment, variables, sensitive. How to securely manage environment variables, Terraform resources, AWS Elastic Beanstalk environment, and sensitive data. I have a Beanstalk module that has Terraform resources that loads. I load secrets from the data. Okay, that's what we're doing. However, during the Terraform plan, the Elastic Beanstalk resource displays as output. Let me check what the output was over here. Let me see. Did it display it? Oh, it didn't display it here, which is good. But so that's good. But it still put it in the it still put it in the it still put it here, which I don't want it to show here. Just not sure. Let me see something. If I go to edit and we go down here, see, all most you can do is remove it. I mean, we got everything to work. I think right now I'm just doing some research on. Trying to think. Because so the issue is not a Terraform issue. The issue is an Elastic Beanstalk issue. So how to hide? I guess we don't even need it with Terraform. We just need to hide it. Because what I could do is, all right, so let me think about this, right? So if I go here, but how would I know if it works or not? That's the problem. So this person said they used, so this is how I use the Elastic Beanstalk environment variable for setting RDS password. AWS secret. So region. So if you were to pass this into there, it would show this. So in what I'm thinking about is inside of the Terraform configuration, we could pass something like this. Password stored in AWS Secrets Manager as JSON would be right here. I'm not even sharing that screen. Hold on. Would be here. This is what I was looking for about 2 hours. You can inject secrets directly into Elastic Beanstalk from environment properties area. If you wanted to do it secret by secret, that would work, not by JSON. Let me see. Guess you could do this as well. I found a way to hide all variables using a custom IAM policy describing the Elastic Beanstalk environment. It's not a full version, but add it to your policy. Guess that could work too. But I would rather just pull it straight from secrets. So let's say how to pull or how to use AWS Secrets Manager with Elastic Beanstalk or AWS secret as Elastic Beanstalk environment variable. Let's see. So AWS Elastic Beanstalk, and all right. So does anybody know? Is it possible to pass a secret value as a environment variable in Elastic Beanstalk? The alternative is obviously to use the SDK in our code base, but I want to explore the environment variable approach first. It's not built in at this point. However, how long ago was this question? This was 4 years ago. Maybe it's built in at this point. However, it is relatively easy to use the EB extension. No, I don't want to do that. The above answer mentioned, but still no built-in solution. If you wanted to do this in Elastic Beanstalk, however, the workaround is to use a platform hook. Unfortunately, it's poorly documented. To store a secret, best solution is to create a custom secret in AWS. In the secret manager, you can create a new secret by clicking store a new secret and then selecting other type of secret, entering your secret. What? At the next step, you need to provide a secret name, say your secret name, and you can leave everything else to their default values. Then you need to allow Elastic Beanstalk to get the secret. You can do it by creating a new IAM policy. Oh, that's what they're talking about. I guess that would work. Export. I think that's what they did for. So what if in Terraform we pass well thinking. I am thinking. See, that's the why can't I just pass it straight into the environment variable? Unfortunately, EB doesn't support secrets at this point. It might be added down the road. You can use this was 2020, 4 years ago. You can another would be to use EB extension. This answer only applies if you're using code pipeline. I think you can add a secret in the environment variable section below. Let's see. See, there goes your car dropping us. Now he's talking about Lambda functions. Oh, come on, car. You're too much for us. You are too much. So choose the key value and for your maybe we could pass that information via the code pipeline and not through if we were to pass that through the code pipeline, then I'm thinking if I pass this through code pipeline, then I wouldn't have to, then it would set, because it just needs that environment variable. And if you pass it through code pipeline, because it went during the build, it would be setting it there. I'm thinking. See, now your car is just showing off. He's just showing off now. Glad we aren't doing Lambda functions. Shout out to your car again. He's on it. He is on top of his game when it comes to this tech stuff. Very, very well versed. Let's see here. So if we take let's say we take let's take a look at code pipeline then. Because if we take the variables outside of, if we take it outside of Elastic Beanstalk, and if we can pass it through the code pipeline, what do we have over here? Let's see what we have in here. This was 2 months ago. Source. Edit something. Variables, triggers, source. Added variables. Add variable. Variable name. Value. Let me see what else. Edit. Let's go edit deploy. Trying to see where that would be. Edit source. Actually, no, let me edit the deploy actually. Variable namespace. Let me see. Application name. What if we edit this one? Action provider. I don't see where they would put in the settings, maybe? No. Pipeline. Edit triggers. No. That's not it. I don't see. Oh, let's see pipeline properties. Nah, that's not it. Where did they do it? Which one was I looking at? I don't know. Wait, here. I got the environment variable section of my code pipeline, updated the post with. Where did you get that? Let me see. What? That is not a helpful screenshot. Where did you get that? This is. You do the same thing to get the secrets here. I don't know. That's weird. But I'm trying to think. Should you put database passwords in, not in the resume, in Elastic Beanstalk environment variable? Oh my goodness. How to manage. All right, let's see. How to manage in a secure way. All right. We have a, all right. Let's see. I agree. All right. So we have the password is stored in a properties file, which will be zipped along in the jar and got uploaded and deployed. It's not very secure. Password is literally carried around compared to the old way of deployment where the password is stored on a server and gets pulled in. Okay. With the AWS parameter store is a good idea. What is that? All right. So what is this? What are we talking about here? AWS parameter store is a good idea. Here is a small how-to. Elastic Beanstalk runs on EC2. When you run AWS CLI on EC2, it automatically has the permissions of any IAM role which are assigned to EC2. So this means you can create give it EC2 instances permission to get the secret, then get it in your application code startup. For example, Amazon SSM read-only access policy and the AWS Elastic Beanstalk EC2 role. This will get you going. Let me see. Amazon parameter store? Automatically. Elastic Beanstalk also supports injecting automatically from SSM parameter store in your environment variable like this. Resolve. But the question is, note that currently using this method only supports plain text configuration, not encrypted one. Okay. Consider using Amazon Parameter Store to manage application secrets like DB password. How long ago was this written? This is 2017. So maybe AWS Secrets Manager could do this now, but I don't know. Things to think about. Not for ECS. Use credentials from, yeah, so on. Let's see. Secret way of accessing vault secrets without. Handling secrets with AWS Elastic Beanstalk. I think that might end up working. That I don't know. Maybe that option for I don't know. I don't see like I have to do some more research to find a good answer on this. That's not the one.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
How AWS Secrets Managers. How AWS Secret Manager used in Elastic Beanstalk safe is the AWS secret key has been stored. What? To be able to fetch a secret. You don't have to do this. Just like with regular EC2 instance, in EV, you give permissions to S Secret Manager or env is a clean way. Is clean of any AWS keys. Yeah, this is like I think this is why doesn't Elastic Beanstalk environment variables have environment variables secrets? So how AWS Elastic Beanstalk uses AWS Secret Manager. And this article is from Amazon. With AWS Elastic Beanstalk, you can quickly deploy and manage applications in AWS Cloud without having to learn infrastructure to run those applications. Elastic Beanstalk can launch Docker environments by building an image described in a Docker file or pulling a remote to authenticate with the. That doesn't say anything about AWS Secrets Manager. What? Is this like the wrong title? Anyways, whatever. I think we have a mission accomplished for today where we were able to set up our secrets manager, and we're able to update the Elastic Beanstalk with it. I have to go and change my password anyways. And let me see. Well, while we're here. Actually, no. I'm gonna wrap it up. So let's go to full screen. Let's see what's going on before we wrap it up. So let me know what you guys think about my old video from a long time ago. There was nobody in the chat at the time, but that video has gotten 437 views. So shout out to that video. That video and the other video where I think the other video that also got the feedback was another one for Selenium Wire. Someone who was using Airflow, a data engineer from Tokyo, reached out to me, and I tried to like figure it out, but I think his Docker files had like way too much in it. Maybe we can go back again in the future and try it out again, because that was a very, very fun thing. But yeah, probably when I get my better computer with like 128 gigs of RAM and like 32 processors, we'll be zooming through at that point. I can't wait to get that laptop. Anyways, what am I talking about? Let's see. So that was that video. Let's go through the chat to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys had a great time going down memory lane and watching my software act up, which makes me have to go and change my password and all that good stuff, right? Anyway, so let's take a look. Let me go to the chat. All right, there we go. So let's see. And Mitch had agreed with PyPlot. And it says, I think after I do the Python, I'll try some data stuff. And that's the thing with the data stuff. It is very at least the course that I'm taking for data, it is close, like it's based on Python, and they have a section at the end for people who don't know Python where it's gonna like get you caught up and stuff like that. But I would say focus on learning Python because that is like I haven't used R yet, but in my mind, if you can figure out the Python, if you need to learn R or pretty much almost any other language, it's going to be easy. I remember like something I also remember like I used to say people would ask, should I learn Java or Python first? And I would say I would learn like I'd say there's more demand for Java, but Python is easier to learn. So, but I think I probably would say learn Python first now because of how much easier it is to learn. And Vice, not to bring up Ferris again, but seeing how like Ferris and some other people like some other people who are learning who've taken the same course, seeing like how they got stuck on like day one stuff. I would probably say it's way better to go and learn Python instead of Java first because Java it's 1,000 times more strict in its syntax. The logic doesn't change, but the syntax of Java is 1,000 times more strict. So even though it is probably like more in demand than Python, it's going to be a much bigger learning curve. So I'd say go with that first. So Mitch says he is querying some data right now. And your car says he is glad we aren't doing Lambda functions right now. And you know what? Maybe we use Lambda. Like we revolutionized the way that we at my company, the way that we play back video with the Lambda function. So maybe I'll learn more about. Maybe I'll do a software exploration on Lambda functions at some point because I'm curious to learn more about them. Lambda's supposed to be like serverless. And your car is laughing at me saying, when he sees bad advice and recognize it immediately. Like,
how dare you?
I'm just saying, how dare you? And Mitch says the thing also is that where the money is, there's demand but not enough supply. So what Mitch is saying is they're paying a lot of money where they need something, but they don't have the people to actually do the work, and that's pretty much anything, right? They're like, and this is why you got to get into the field before it gets popular and people start making YouTube videos about go into this field and you can make like all this money and stuff like that. And now you have like 1,000 people or you have 10,000 people applying for the same position. Like because now we have so many options. We can offer a lot lower for it, especially for like entry level if you can find that. So that's a very good point. That is very, very good point. And it says, you guys says facts. Java will make you the most money in the long run. That's true. That is true. I would say Java and C#, just because like C#, if you were because for me, I think Java, like I think they're cousins or something, right? Java and C#. C# is the Microsoft version. Java is the Oracle or whoever owns them now. And you pretty much can do the same thing, but it just depends on like where you're running your infrastructure. But those are probably like the most utilized languages for like really heavy applications. Python more on the data side of it, data engineering, data science, data analytics side of it. R as well now. But yeah, I would definitely say like the long run, you want to get to like Java and C# type stuff. And then because those are I think like those are the most solid and structured type languages. Because and they don't like Ikara was saying earlier, like there's no wiggle room in those codes. Like your whole application will not run if you're missing a semicolon. Like it won't even compile if you're missing a semicolon. And the whole thing is going to stop. And you have to get everything right in there. But you want to have the strictest language for the most important software. So that's my thoughts behind it. And Ikara says tech is very understaffed. And that's true, but it also depends on the sector in tech. It depends on the sector in tech because there's so many layers to that, right? Because you'll have a bunch of people who graduate from QA boot camps or taking a Coursera or Udemy, or they get like Google certified and stuff like that. But then when it comes time to doing the work, they have no idea what they're doing. So that's one aspect of it. And then you have people like, graduating like these web development, software engineering stuff, but they're just for the work a company needs to be done, they're not qualified to do it. So now tech is understaffed because they didn't put in the extra work to actually. And that's what I always say: go out there and build something useful for the world to see. And that reminds me of Calculus Coder's application for free mind recovery, which we did some automation on a few months ago, where building something where you can actually get feedback on. No one's going to give you feedback on your GitHub. GitHub is where your projects that you learn from these boot camps and stuff like that. It's where that's the graveyard of boot camp projects. So when you put your GitHub link on your resume, no one's gonna look at it. Like me, when I get curious and bored, maybe around like 3:00 in the morning, I might go and look at someone's GitHub and see what's in there. But I don't normally get bored at 3:00 in the morning. So, but nobody really looking at it. But if you put something out there for someone to see, like something that people can actually use, now people in the tech space, because it's something that's actually has value and meaning, they can actually go and look at the GitHub and give some feedback. But if it's just look at my code, no, I'm not. I mean, I might, but 99% of people are not going to be looking at your code because it's useless to everyone else except for you. Put something out there in the public domain, and now you might get, at least people can give you feedback on your application, and now you can give you some insight on your code. Because like my feedback to Calculus Coder was, your code is not clean enough. It's not testable. You want to go ahead and put like some IDs, some classes, some test data IDs, so people can so you can automate your test your site easier. You want to run some unit tests on it, right? But if it wasn't something out there in the public, then I wouldn't even be looking at it. We wouldn't have spent like a month on it, you know. So that's what I'm saying. It says, but that's why the pay and benefits are so low. Let's see. And Mitch says, I think it's harder to replace technical roles. What's your thought? Replace technical roles. Let's see. So I guess it depends on the technical role. And even if you replace it with, like, if you replace it, you still need. It's about evolution, right? Because people always ask, "Oh, do you think AI is going to replace this? Do you think AI is going to replace that?" It's going to replace AI is going to replace low hanging fruit. But you still need people to it's all about prompting and stuff like that. Because the engineers at my job, like they use AI, they use Copilot and stuff like that, but they know what they're looking for and they know how to take that what was generated and make it useful. I don't use AI as much for like code and stuff like that. But you know, I think with evolution, you just need to get more technical and maneuver your technical skills to where it's relevant. So, you just have to continue to get more technical. You know, that's my thoughts behind it. It says, funny you say that sales engineers aren't as popular anymore. It's all about tech sales and BDRs, SDRs, account managers now. You're not cool as a sales engineer anymore. And Oracle owns Java. Yeah, so they still own them. Thank you for the clarification. But I don't want to get sued for defamation, so I just had to say that. Mitch says Oracle owns everything. Everything. Understaffed and underpaid is crazy. Yeah, of course. As says, are you? No, that is not a Rolex. I am not on that level yet. And your car says AI is not going to replace anything that's not already replaceable. That's very true. So yesterday, just before we wrap it up, right? Like Mitch was asking about the birthday party for my son yesterday, and I was talking to one of my friends who's like a director of nursing, director of the region, right? And I asked her like, so how are things going? She goes, oh, it's so hard to find nursing staff and stuff like that. They all want to work remotely. I'm like, nurses working remotely? and she was saying that like, yeah, like they want to work remote. Like, so now I guess, I don't know if have any of you guys ever seen this, right? So working remotely where, if you're in the hospital or whatever, and you press the button and a nurse comes up on the screen to help you as opposed to them actually coming to the room. So I told her this though. I'm like, you know what? If a nurse can work remotely from here, why can't the nurse also work remotely from some other country? Because if a nurse can't be here to do like check on the patient and stuff like that, if they're going to be doing it over a screen, then what's stopping them from outsourcing that? Or what's stopping them from creating, you know what, if you're not going to be a physical presence to your patient, then we can just do AI generated nurse. Right? AI generated nurse. And now you have a nurse who's going to be always nice to you and speaking to you in whatever language you speak. Right? If you're not willing to be there in person. Anyways, that was an interesting conversation that I haven't heard of remote nurses working remotely yet, so it is what it is. Anyways, let's wrap it up. Let's see. So your car also said AI is machine learning on steroids. That's true. Definitely true. And it needs data. The human is needed for context, so AI can never replace that element. You need the context of the data, not just data. That's a fact.
Message.
And I want an Audemars one day. Am I saying it wrong? Is it Audemars? Audemars? I don't know. I'm not much of a watch person. And Ferris asked your car and Mitch, how long have they been in tech? And it's a good question. I forgot how long your car told me. I had asked your car that question before. I forgot exactly what he told me. I think your car told me 11 years, maybe. I could be wrong. Let's see. So your car also says dropping that watch knowledge. Get a Patek or a Rolex. They hold the value better than Piguet. I might be saying that wrong. Piguet? I don't know. Whatever. I am not a watch person. And Ferris says remote equals offshoring. And it says, but how do you pick them up? Give shots. So what she was telling me is that you'll have like a couple of staffs in office, like working the floor, and the CNAs and the patient care techs and stuff like that, but they want to work remote. So that was new to me. I'm like, everyone's like, what? Is that even possible? But that's what it was. That's what it was, right? And it says, let's see. Let me see what else. It's just so silly. I said what I said. That's what I want. Hey, your car. Remember when you were watching me last Monday fail? Just watch him fail, right? Watch him fail. Just watch him fail, right? And then I will give you the honor of hitting this button.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Let's see. It says robotics Xbox controller. It says they don't need a nurse to come on the screen. They can just use the robot. There you go. That's why do you think they build these robots? Why do you think automation came around, right? And your car says he's been in tech for 10 plus years. I lose count. I started deep in tech with G1 when with the G1 was released. The G1 was the one that had the keyboard that you slide as you slide the screen up. I had one of those too. I started building apps and testing APIs back then. Never stopped building on top of that since. That is awesome. Oh my goodness.
Bruh.
I had a G1. That's pretty cool. That the G1 had to come out. That was like Google's first flagship phone. I think that was like right after the iPhone. So that had to be like 2008-ish, maybe 2009-ish. It was right around that time because I had one of those. I remember. Let's do a quick search. When did Google G1 come out? October 22nd, 2008. October 22nd, 2008. Yep. Awesome. And says PCA. Yeah. Barry said he was in middle school at that point. That's funny. Have you seen the NVIDIA demo of a virtual warehouse? I have not seen that. It says, watch me fail. Wow. And he says, "With friends like y'all, who needs enemies?" And your car. He's gonna after we say congratulations, you played yourself. He's gonna come back and say,
I'm in a bind, Nate.
"All right, it was really a developer phone pretending to be a normal phone." That's funny. I said, "Dang, your car, you own like." Whatever, Mitch. Whatever. I'm gonna get out of here. You know what? I've had enough for today. I've had enough, right?
I hate it here. I want to go home.
And last comment of the night or of the afternoon, your car says, I unlocked everything. I was running my data through the hotspot and USB in 2008. What? Oh my goodness. I learned that you have internet everywhere your phone has internet. That is awesome. So your car invented the tethering, right? Anyways, I'm out of here. You guys, I have a question for you before I get out. Of course, you guys already know. The question is,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
are you not entertained? I am very well entertained. I'm also annoyed because the whole password thing, but it is what it is. I will get that fixed up. But entertained, had a great time with you guys, learned so much. Happy that I've integrated my first time setting up Terraform and AWS Secrets Manager worked out very well, worked out swimmingly. So very, very good. Love it. And let's just continue to run it up. What are we going to do? We are going to run it up as always. But you guys know, yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is not tomorrow's price because
one more thing. Price of the brick going up.
the price of the brick is always going up. And on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow morning for our coffee and kata. I am out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Spartans! What is your profession?